390 Wagon Master here. All right, today in this video we're going to take a quick look at the Retevis MB1 40 channel AM FM mobile CB radio and the antenna setup that comes with it. So you can get this radio two different ways. You can get it as a complete kit, and then you could buy just the radio only. The antenna setup is a very good entry-level whip setup. And what I'm saying is a lot of like these emergency or temporary mobile setups that have come out on the market over the last like 40 years really scrimp on the antenna. And this is not one of those kits. It's a little larger, and that is a good thing. This antenna assembles. It's a two-piece antenna, and it comes with a little Allen wrench, and you just put the base load into the tip down here and tighten her down, and you're good to go. And then, of course, screw the base on the magnet mount. So what I want to have in a convoy or a road trip setup, I want to have a radio that gives me at least 2 miles transmit and receive distance. I know that doesn't sound like much, but it is, and that's what I want and expect. So we're going to get that with this. And, you know, buyer beware. You see a lot of antennas on the internet people are selling that are really short, little 20-inch antennas and stuff. And understand that in the CB game, antenna-wise, bigger is better. Almost 100% of the time. I rarely see small micro antennas give me a couple miles performance. You just don't get it. I've had a little base-loaded magnet mount antenna that I think was 22 inches high, and it would barely transmit 1 mile. And that's not good. We want to go a little bit more than that. So anyway, so not bad with that. I've been putting the radio through its paces for quite a while now, about 10 days, and the radio has not failed. It comes out of the box at full legal limit, just about 4 watts or just a hair over 4 watts, which if you're new to the game, that's pretty darn good. And it will easily reach its advertised rating of 100% modulation. So pretty interesting for sure. Okay, so the size of the radio goes a little like this. It's 4 3/4 inches in width. It's 1.5 inches in height. It's 3.5 inches in chassis depth. Add a 1/2 inch for the knob. So 3.5 to 4 max. Okay, the radio weighs 1 pound with the power cord. Okay, so I just stacked all that stuff up on a scale. That weighs 1 pound. The microphone weighs 5.3 ounces. It does have a weight in there, and I'll show you some pictures of the inside of this mic. It's pretty interesting. This is a pretty common microphone that we're starting to see nowadays, and you know, for what it is, it's pretty rugged. So anyway, and we're getting about almost 4 feet, 4.5 feet of wire there. So that should, in most modern vehicles, that should reach from wherever you're going to put your radio to your cigarette lighter. So very small, compact, lightweight, very rugged construction. This is all cast aluminum. We have a plastic access panel here on the bottom and a small speaker. I believe that's right around close to 2 inches. And the audio amplifier in here is pretty good for a micro CB. I call these micro CBs just because they're so small. But for a micro CB, it has a good sound to it. And that's a big thing with me. I've got to be able to hear it and hear it well. So on the back panel, we have an antenna plug. This is called an SO239. And then we have a slightly recessed external speaker jack. And that's it. I've got the screws off the bottom panel. We'll show you a couple shots of the inside of this radio. Okay, so we're going to go over the front panel functions on the MB1, and then after we do this, we'll go into the main menu functions. So this is all the quick, easy access. What we have basically is the push to talk, and then we have channel up-down buttons on the microphone. So over here, we'll just turn it off, turn it back on. This is the on-off and volume button. Over here, we have squelch. And this is kind of an interesting setup, the way they do that. So if you want to turn the squelch on, you can just hit this. If you want to adjust the squelch from high to low, like this being squelch off, then you can turn it up. And I liked this one. I think it was somewhere right around 6. Anyway, that's how you adjust that. That's a pretty interesting way to do that. You can push it again and you go back into just the normal mode, or you can just key the mic real quick. This is our AM and FM, our mode button. Okay. This is our emergency channel button. Now I have this set to some different channels. I use the emergency channel button for checking skip on a couple different channels. So generally I hang out on 23. I'll check 6. That's where all the big stations are. So this one here will tell me in a nutshell if skip's even in. And then I like to check for West Coast skip on 17. 17's a popular channel on the West Coast. So that's what I use my emergency functions for. The default channels are channel 9 and 19. Okay, over here we have a multi-function button. Actually, it'd be a dual function button. This is to get us into our menus. Okay, get us out of our menu. And then for the Vox, and what you do, turn the Vox on in this radio, is you hold the PTT. Test 1 2, test 1 2. And that's how you use your Vox. Now I'm not keying or anything like that, and I have talk back on, so let's clear that. Oh yeah. All right, let's clear it. There we go. And then of course we have your up-down channel buttons. And these buttons also help toggle you through the memories, as you'll see. Okay. And that's it. All right. Let's get into the menu functions. Okay, so let's go through the 21 menu functions on this radio. So we'll start off, and in order to do this, let's see, I want to zoom in here and see if I can get a little bit better picture here. Now this screen's going to be hard to read for a minute. So let's, so I already have a bunch of settings going in here, so I'm going to push the function button, and we're going to go here to function 21 and reset. Okay, so now I'll turn it back on, and we're in FM channel 9. Doesn't really matter which channel we're on. Just okay. Let's you know, I want to take it in order, but I'm going to revert first off over to our brightness and color, just so we can see it a little bit better. And we're going to confirm that. We can try white. And then let's go over to brightness and turn that down. There we go. That looks kind of blue. And then we'll key the mic to confirm that. It looks kind of blue on camera. It's kind of a whitish blue in person. Okay, so we've done our reset. Let's go back into our functions. And function number 1 is CTCSS encoding setting of those frequencies. We're not going to discuss that in this video. Number 2 is the key beep, which is, you can hear, is on. So let's turn it off. We're going to set that function button. We'll go up a button. Now you can push the up button on the radio or on the microphone to get into these features. Our mic setting, this is great. We're going to hit the function button again to adjust it. It's flashing. The factory default is number 6 on the mic gain. And out of the box, 6 sounds pretty good, but 9 sounds better. Okay, let's go to number 4. And this has a mic type, just like some of the presidents do. Actually, all of them. And we're going to show you that you can select from electret to dynamic. So we're in electret. Let's go up to number 5. This is Vox control, and number 5 is Vox sensitivity. So we can set the sensitivity of the Vox. I believe it was 1 through 9. Yes, and it comes at 3 from the factory. I don't remember what I had it set originally, but by the way, the Vox works very well in this. Okay, number 6 on the control is Vox time. So this is how much delay you have in the Vox before the radio and keys. Factory default is at 4. Oops. And so let's go to 6. All right. Our next function will be squelch set. And I have this set at 8. You hit the function again and toggle down or up. Actually, that was the factory default. That's right. Let's confirm that. Let's go to number 8, which is the auto squelch level control. And that default is at 6. And I believe I liked it better at 4. So we'll set it to 4. And we will confirm that. And let's see, what are we on here? We're on 9, and this is scan type. So by doing this, the scan type, we can control the way it scans through frequencies. So we have like squelch scan, time scan, and then just the default type squelch. So we'll just confirm that. Let's go up again. And this is number 10, and this is high cut for the receive. So think of this as a tone control. And we have high cut off and then on. I actually prefer off on mine. Okay, so I hit the camera and it timed out. I think we left off at 10. So we'll go back up there. And yes, high cut. And we put that to off. Okay, let's go to 11. And 11 is talkback. Yes, this radio has talkback. And you can toggle the volume of the talkback. And the default is off. And I believe I was somewhere around 2 or 3 is what I liked. So we'll hit that again. And let's go up to number 12. And this is our noise blanker. And this will turn our noise blanker on and off. And of course, I want noise blanker on. It's very noisy here. Let's go up to number 13. This is our RF gain control setting. Now this is kind of an interesting setting. Off is full RF gain. And auto, we can turn auto on. I just don't, I'm not a fan of auto RF gain. So I'm going to go back off. And then here we go. Number 14. This was the RF gain level. That's right. It's hard to keep track of all these features. I suggest you put your manual in your glove box. Okay, so RF gain off is basically the gain wide open. And the higher the value, the lower your incoming signal. So like 48 is pretty much like off. And if I remember right, somewhere right around 22 or so would equal to about half the RF gain control on like an old school radio. So we're going to turn that back to off. And I can't remember the factory function I believe is off. All right, we'll confirm that. Let's run up to 15. This is our Roger beep. This is end of transmission signal Roger beep. And I have the speaker covered up, right? But anyway, we're gonna go with Roger beeps off. So we'll confirm that. Let's go up to the next one. 16 is backlight color setting. So we'll confirm that, and we can try some different colors on camera. The red looks very good on here. I like their green as well. Blue is pretty blue, cyan, yellow, and then purple, and then white. And I think white's best for this demonstration. Let's go up to brightness, number 17. Of course, this thing will get pretty bright, or you can turn it. Yeah, I thought you could turn it off. Anyway, from 1 to, what was that last value? 6. Yeah, 1 to 6. I believe we have a control on here to turn it off. Okay, and then number 18 is our timeout timer. And this is default at 2 or 2 minutes. It goes from 1 to 10. And basically, this just times how long you can key down. So let's adjust it. Let's go to 3. That's kind of a standard setting. All right, so if you happen to sit on the mic or it gets caught in the seat or something, it won't fry your radio. It'll time out, and after, you know, whatever setting you have, 2 or 3 minutes, it will unkey the radio. And then here is number 19. This is emergency channels, and this is emergency channel off for number 9. We can change our emergency channel. Remember, we're toggling the up-down channel controls. So I like to use my emergency channels to check skip. So I've got the first one set for channel 6. And that would be on AM. I forgot it goes into a mode too. And let's go up to emergency channel 2. Let's set it at channel 17. That's the one I listen for. I listen in the springtime. I look for West Coast skip on this. And then we're going to confirm that, and it defaults on FM. We're going to go to AM. Okay, so we're done with that. And then last but not least, we have the reset. All right, so we can get out of this mode a few different ways. We can either hold the mode button. We can let it time out after 10 seconds, so you can just give it a quick hit on the microphone's PTT. And there you go. That is all 21 functions in the MB1. Okay, final thoughts on the MB1. Okay, so this has like a very common CRT, gosh, forgot the name of that. I think it's like a CRT 9 type microphone, electret microphone. But anyway, the audio on this transmit audio sounds great. Let's, in fact, do a little test right here. Have my handy dandy Randy, and let's turn up the squelch on that a little bit. We got the handy dandy Randy on. Let's get an audio check here. Let's go up here. Oops. Hello, test. Okay, let's get it here. AM. Okay. Hello, test 1, 2, 3. Hello, test 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. This was at the stock setting. 1, 2, 3. All right, let's go to FM. This is where this radio really shines. And we have FM 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Hello, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, the FM on this radio is just amazing. The audio is blistering. All right. Anyway, so there you go. Anyway, overall, the talk function on this radio works really well. The receiver is very sensitive. I'm impressed with that. And the AGC, or the automatic gain control attack, is perfect in my opinion. I don't think they could make any improvements in that. Adjacent channel rejection is good. All of these micro radios don't really all have the best adjacent channel rejection, but this one performs really well. The size is really nice because you can, mount it in most of today's vehicles, so that makes it really nice. It comes with all the necessary hardware for all of that, and it doesn't build up a lot of heat. I've timed this out many times. I mean, it'll get hot, but the radio hasn't given up. And if you've seen my other videos, I'll time these things out 20-30 times sometimes. I mean, it just kind of depends. I try to fry them, honestly. These test radios get beat up pretty good. And this unit did not fail. Has all the front panel features right up here. If you're used to a standard CB radio with a rotary dial for squelch and all that kind of stuff, this radio may seem a little odd to you, but you can pick all this stuff up pretty easily. It's fairly intuitive. I don't know if there are any European versions. It says US, so I don't know if there's a UK version or not to this radio. And I have yet to find the service menu in this, but rest assured I'm trying to find it. And when I do, I'll let you know. But anyway, so transmitter is pretty good. Receiver's pretty good. Overall, you know, it's not a bad radio. A couple things I don't like about it. I am not a fan of these J45 mic connectors. I do not like these at all. I wish they would do something else, like maybe use a 4, 5, or a 6-pin standard microphone, like on a like a Cobra or President, something like that. I wish they would do that. I wish that you could maybe do something like tap the volume and set the squelch or something. I just would like that squelch circuit to be a little bit easier. The auto squelch in this works pretty good. The Vox works very well in this. Like I say again, audio quality on FM is just fabulous. It's just great. One quirk that I found was the AM FM button. See how I'm pushing that? Now this doesn't always do this. It's somewhat intermittent. However, if I can find the sweet spot there. Right there. And otherwise, it'll just sit and toggle back and forth like this. And at first I thought it was maybe a CPU issue or a menu issue, but it's actually the switch. Come on. There we go. Anyway, all the other switches work well. I haven't had any of them fail or glitch out like the mode switch. Now, honestly, how many times are we ever going to use that? I don't know. FM's being pushed by the manufacturers for US usage, but it's not really a thing in America. So, and the reports I get from around the country, FM is just not a thing. They do some FM on the pirate channels or out of band frequencies, but regular 40 CB channels, we just don't do it. But anyway, that's about the only thing that I've really found as far as having an issue with. So anyway, there you go. The radio comes in at roughly $88, pretty much wherever you look. That's of the end of March 2024. So as you're seeing this a couple years down the road, I'm sure the price is going to be different. This radio comes in 2 different package setups. You can buy the radio on its own with the microphone, all the hardware and everything. Or you can buy it as a kit for, I believe it was $119, and you get a little entry-level magnetic mount antenna. That's actually not really a bad antenna for like a kit type thing. I'm pretty impressed with that. And then last of all, kind of using these cheater clips here, I'll unhook it. But last of all, another thing I liked is this is meant to be a portable setup or something like a road trip setup, something very temporary in a vehicle, and it comes with a pre-wired cigarette lighter plug. So yes, cars still have these in there. You might have to look hard, but they're still there, and it makes it easy. You just plug it right in, and it only draws right an amp and a quarter. So it's not going to suck down your car battery or anything like that. So anyway, there you go. That is the Retevis MB1. I think it's a nice little entry-level CB starter radio. this would actually not be a bad starter setup for a base station, but like I say, the way the kit and everything's packaged, it's mostly for temporary road trips, stuff like that. And of course, the sizing makes it nice to mount in pretty much every modern vehicle. All right, well, thanks for watching, and if you have one of these, let me know how you like it in the comment section down below. Questions or comments on this radio, please leave them down below. And if you have not yet subscribed to this channel, please consider doing so. All right, cheers. Okay, so we're going to test RF output. And at the same time, I am going to monitor the current draw of this radio. Now, I've already had this radio on scope and proper test gear, and it performs transmit-wise very well. Has a very clean audio signal, and AM sensitivity is very good. Let's do a transmitted audio power test, modulation, and let's check out our current draw. So we're currently sitting at 165 milliamps for current drain, which is pretty good. Pretty happy with that. And now let's check RF output. So I'm not on the big meter because that one doesn't do modulations. I just wanted to give you a relative idea of modulation. So we're going to be reading the top scale here. Right here is 4 watts. And then down here, modulation, and we should be peaking right at the red. So let's see what we have. We are pulling, hello. At maximum, we're pulling a little over 1 amp. Hello, 1.267 amps. So an amp and a quarter. We have RF output at 4 watts, just right at 4 watts. And a little bit of forward swing, just a little bit of RMS swing. My other meter shows just a hair more. Okay, and then let's do modulation. Now, by the way, that RF output reading is going to be the same on AM and FM. Okay, there's no difference. And let's go to modulation. And again, we're going to be down here on that bottom meter. We should be getting right into that red. Hello. Hello. So 100% modulation.